Hello viewers, this is Wolf here. Welcome to Wolf's Haven and to some more Monster Hunter figure reviews. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Capcom Figure Builder PLUS Vol.22. So with this pack here, we're actually finally jumping into Sunbreak from Monster Hunter Rise. And you'll see, just as we take a look to the side of the box to see what comes included with this, you can see that we can get Narwa the All-Mother here, Malzeno, Lunagoron, and then over to the other side, we can get Bishaten, which that's a monster I really like, Shogun Senator, and I believe this is supposed to be Apex Diablos. So let's open this thing up and see what these look like. Alright, so this box actually looks pretty cool. But with the first package, let's see what monster is inside. Okay, cool. So the first one here is actually Malzeno. So Malzeno is definitely one of my favorite monsters from Sunbreak. And this is probably the one that I was anticipating the most from this pack. So we'll definitely assemble this a little bit later and see what it actually looks like. So on to box number 2. Oh, okay. So before we jump on to the second box, I actually just noticed that it seems like they're continuing the trend from the previous pack, where they're actually including some stickers of the icons from Rise here, which again was something that I very much appreciated, because again, the art style of the icons from that game look very cool, very different from the usual Monster Hunter fare. So I'm really happy to see this, especially with Malzeno's. This looks really cool. So now onto the second monster here. So this one is Narwa the All-Mother. And this one is looking very colorful. I actually can't wait to see what this looks like once it's fully assembled. But then of course, there is a piece for another monster here. I'm not quite sure what that is, but we'll see once we finally assemble it. And then, of course, we have the All-Mother's icon right here, looking pretty cool. So on to box number 3. Oh, wait. Oh, this is a Malzeno. Okay, that's cool. So we get like a red translucent version of Malzeno that we have to assemble later on. But anyways, onto this. This one is Lunagoron, and I'm actually kind of liking how they've done the color on the bodies for this figure in particular. We'll definitely take a closer look at that later. But then it should have its icon in here. Which, there we go. Yeah, Lunagoron's icon looking really cool. Definitely one of my favorite looking ones from Sunbreak. Now for box number 4. So I guess we'll take a look at the icon first. So, yeah, Bishaten. So this is cool because Bishaten was actually one of my favorite monsters, like favorite new monsters that they included into Rise in the base game. Very fun monster to fight. I liked his I liked the whole gimmick with him like fighting with the different fruits and whatnot. I thought that was really cool. And he just has a really cool design. He's kind of like a winged ape. Very colorful as well. So now for box 5. So this one... Oh yeah, here we go. This is the Shogun Senator. Right here. And this one's actually looking pretty big. It's got that arm's reach. So this is definitely going to stick out from the base quite a bit. And, of course, we've got the icon here. And last but not least, box number 6. So of course here we have Apex Diablos. Alright, and also Apex Diablo's icon here, looking very ominous with those glowing red eyes. But yeah, let's assemble all of these together and see what they all look like. Alright, so we have all of the Volume 22 figures out of their boxes and completely assembled, so let's take a look at them individually. And we're going to start off with Bishaten here, which was a monster that I mentioned earlier as being one of my favorite monsters, like early game monsters in Rise to fight. He was just a really fun fight for me, and just a very unique monster as well. Design-wise, I thought he was very cool, how he's kind of like a winged ape. And I like the fact that, I liked the whole concept with the fruits, how he used the fruits to fight and whatnot. I thought that was very cool. And yeah, very colorful monster. I do like how they brought that through here, with a lot of these blues and greens on his wings, especially on his head, contrasting with the white fur as well. A very good looking monster, and I also do like the fact that they included the orange here, the little fruit. The other thing too that I find very consistent about this whole set is the fact that all of the poses I think are very well done, especially with Bishaten here. I do like the fact that it looks like he's winding up to toss a fruit at someone, and just the overall flow of his body, the positioning of it too, just looks really good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to have this. One of my favorite early game monsters from Rise here. So now we're going to be taking a look at Apex Diablos, which, when it comes to the Diablos monsters, I've never really been a fan of them. I've never enjoyed fighting a Diablos, and I don't care that much about the design of this monster. Like, I think it's okay. All that being said, I do think that they captured it quite well in this figure form here. The Apex variant in particular, when we have these little orange spots here on various parts of the body, like on the wings here, in the chest area. If we take a look to the back, you can see that those orange spots become very prominent on the back of the wings, especially on the horns as well at the very top here. So, pretty cool overall. I think they did a good job with this, but like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Diablos, so this doesn't really do a whole lot for me, but, you know, it's alright. Like, they did a decent job with this statue here. So now we're going to be taking a look at Shogun Senator, which this looks really cool as well. Love a lot of the blue on this, especially on the claw. We have this silver for the little bladed end of the claws here, especially the little bone for the spikes on the inner side, which look really cool. The exoskeleton looks very good on this as well, and the shell on the back. I do like the pose here for Senator as well, just getting ready to swipe at you. So overall, yeah, this one's pretty good. Pretty solid stuff. And then now, these are my top 3 within this whole pack. So I guess we'll start off with Malzeno. And yeah, Malzeno is looking pretty good. Again, a very nice pose, making Malzeno look very royal, very regal. And again, he's very colorful as well, with a lot of these pinks contrasting with the various golds around the body, the golds on the claws, the wingtips, even on the horns, and the various accents around the head and the rest of the body. So he's looking pretty good here too, especially on the ends of the tail. You can notice that on the pink fur on the chest, there's a bit of a glossy effect here. So it's a little bit of a shine here. But overall, I think that they did capture Malzeno quite well at this scale. You can't really make out too much detail in the eyes, but, you know, it's typical for this size, this scale of statue. But overall, I think this Malzeno does look pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now for Luna Garon. Now, I think Luna Garon might actually be my favorite of the figures in this set here, because I like the way that they captured the blues around the body here, It's just that little subtle mix of the blues with these little gray parts on the ends of the scales and the spikes, I think just go very well together. And it really allows the colors to pop quite well on Lunagoron. So I'm a big fan of that. The other thing too is I love the pose, where they have like a kind of a descending pose down, really exposing a good portion of his body, because you can see from this front side, you can see a lot of the various features like the spikes and as well as like the thick part of his tail here as well, looking very good. And the face actually does look nice here too as well. We've got that little silver section, which kind of makes it look like he has like silver eyebrows there. Not a whole lot of detail in the eyes, but the mouth looking very good, as well as the ears, and a bit of a glossy effect on the legs here as well. But yeah, overall, I'm actually I actually do like this quite a bit. I think the blues do look very good. There's a bit of it almost kind of looks metallic-y, which I think is a very cool looking effect here on this as well. So I think this might be my favorite of the set. But now for last but not least, we have Narwa the Allmother. So of course, the Allmother combines the various features of Ibushi and Narwa together, and this one is definitely the eye catcher within this whole set, because the abundance of color and the vibrancy going all throughout this whole statue is really good. Like, you have so many various colors, like these pinks, purples, the whites, the blues, the yellows, greens. Like, there's so much going on here that it's just hard not to look at this thing. And yeah, I think in certain aspects, like, I think this probably, when you're talking about some of the textures and the colors, this thing definitely, I think, looks quite a bit better than some of the other statues in this set, especially with some of the details on things like this. This was something that I mentioned in the previous set that Ibushi had, which looked very good compared to like the overall texturing on the rest of the body. The other thing too that I find cool is that this little bulge part here does have a bit of a translucent effect, so you can kind of see inside of it too, which is very different from Narwa from the previous set as well. And then you can just see how all of these pinks kind of transition into these blues with almost a bit of a translucent effect there as well. So yeah, this is definitely an eye catcher for sure. And I do like how much larger it is in comparison to a lot of the other statues here in this set as well, which makes sense. I've never been a fan of Narwa. Narwa the Allmother. Wasn't a huge fan of the fight itself, but in figure form here, they did do a good job of recreating it here, and it does look great. So, like I said before, these are definitely my top three. If I were to pick my favorite out of the three, I think it would definitely be Lunagoron. I just think that overall, like, the pose and the colors on Lunagoron, like, the specific effect that they're trying to give away with Lunagoron, I think just looks really good. It's very appealing to me. And probably my least favorite is probably going to be Apex Diablos. No bias there. But anyways, that's gonna be all the monsters here. I guess there is one more. There is the translucent monster, which is right here, which is of course Malzeno. So we have that red translucent effect here, which does look good. It kind of it's like they kind of like infused Malzeno entirely with Curia energy here. So it gets a bit of that red glow all throughout the body, which I do think looks pretty cool. And again, like I mentioned in the previous sets, they did up the standard of how they built the individual parts when you're assembling these translucent monsters. So everything here is very rigid, nothing really loose, and it's just an overall a very good build. So I'm very happy with that, and I think that this Malzeno does look pretty good. But yeah, with that, that's going to conclude the whole Volume 22 set, rather. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's definitely going to be a lot more Monster Hunter figures and content coming in the future, so I hope you guys stay tuned for all of that. But until then, I hope you guys have a good day or good night, depending on where you are, and I will see you all later.